Welcome once again to our program, our podcast, Tea on the Terrace. Today, we are up in Bartica, the heart of Region 7, Cuyuni, Mazaruni, a gateway to the interior and what real investment looks like. Here is remarkable. You can see all across Bartica the changing landscape, the changing skyline, the changing infrastructure, but importantly, a people on the rise, advancing in education, advancing in healthcare, and advancing in entrepreneurship. And today, I want us to just briefly examine some of what is taking place here in region number 7, but particularly, I want us to look at Bartica. Now, region 7 contributed 41% of all our gold production in 2025. Now, what does this mean? And I'm only going to look at the small and medium-sized miners as an example, because many times we speak about small and medium-sized miners. The small and medium-sized miners would have declared in from region 7 105,400 plus ounces of gold. What that equates to is $88 billion of revenue. So the small and medium sized miners alone in region 7 would have participated in a revenue generation of more than $88 billion. What this means? This means that the small and medium sized enterprises are small and medium sized miners, which is about 1,100 plus small miners and about 190 plus medium scale miners. They would have employed directly and indirectly more than 20,000 persons. They would have created opportunities for a major number of sectors: entertainment, restaurants, hotels, transportation, mechanical engineering services, banking, finance, insurance, machinery. All of those things are critically integrated. And as I was reminded today, just between the period 2015 to 2020, Bartica was asleep. Nothing was happening. The tongue was becoming empty. Development was stalled. Mining was paused. And investment was nowhere to be seen. Today, the story is much different, as I have just demonstrated. Then, quarries. In the last 5 years alone, we have 10 new quarries operating in Region 7, generating thousands, thousands of new jobs, creating opportunities. All the other sectors I spoke about: food, clothing, entertainment, mechanical engineering, professional services, banking services, financial services, transportation. To add to the quarrying sector, which by the way was tens of billions of dollars of investment, we have forestry, 95 small concessions and 11 large concessions, 4.3 million acres of concession land, generating again thousands of opportunities. In one new company, Oko West, as of December 2025, they would have already employed almost 900 persons, 256 small contractors, and by October 2026, they are projected to employ 2,200 persons here in Region 7. That is what the development translates to. That is what the investment translates to. That is what support to mining translates to. And of course, we have given all the tax concession, the fiscal incentives, the zero excise tax on fuel. All of these are things that will have stimulated confidence in investment and allow the region to grow the way it is growing. Now, I want us to also look at the future. We're looking at new airports, new airstrips to support mining. We're looking at the Puruni Bridge that will support mining. We are looking at some challenges also that the small and medium-sized miners have: access to capital, security, opening of bank accounts, getting their documentation in order, working out a standard contract between small miners especially, and the large landholders, so that they can have a common contract and common terms and conditions, so they are protected. And then, of course, forming them into consortium, building consortiums and group of our small miners, so that they can have predictability. We can invest in infrastructure to support them and not have them dispersed all over the interior. So in the next 3 weeks, these conversations will evolve. Here at Tea on the Terrace, we also like to speak to the residents themselves. Today, I want to welcome a young lady who will tell us all about how she feels about the development that is taking place in Bartica, and how she, in her view, things are changing and her life is becoming better. Tell us about Bartica. Tell us about what is happening here.
Thank you for that. My name is Miss Lam. The new healthcare facility that is um, being structured in 5 Miles Housing Scheme. I want to speak about the Gold Scholarship.
Let us speak a bit about the Gold Scholarship. You have a lot of young persons on the Gold Scholarship?
Yes, we have a lot of young persons on the Gold Scholarship.
What about your teachers? Are they being trained online now?
Yeah, they're being. It's very beneficial for them because they're studying and doing everything from the comfort of their home. They could provide for families and maintain.
And I heard you're having a new airport, like a municipal airport.
Yes.
How would that benefit Bartica?
I think it would benefit Bartica in a more tremendous way because our only entry to Bartica is by boat. So now we could have people coming in and going out. We could have transportation through the air service.
And that also will become a major transport and logistic hub to take things all over in the interior.
Correct.
So Bartica would further expand its supply chain to the rest of the interior, right?
Yeah.
Great. And tell me, you were telling me about the roads?
Yes. So back in 5 years ago, well, there wasn't so much we're thankful for the roads for 5 years now. Easy access going to the schools, the interior, you getting to mobilize and stuff. So it's really a good initiative.
And then you're having your own brand new brand new regional hospital, a level 4 hospital.
Correct. So that would benefit our residents from in the interior. It would benefit them more than have to travel in out of the region to get
and it's going to be a referral hospital. So
correct.
all the miners, I just came from Peroni, for example, and they have 4,000 persons on that landing. So referrals don't have to go to Georgetown anymore. This will be a facility that they can go.
Yes.
So great. Anything else you want to say? And I see you have major housing development too.
We're very thankful for that. Bearing that we have a lot of teachers, nurses, and these persons who could at least move out, from the basic homes and start a life for themselves. So the housing scheme, and we are looking forward for so many more, so much more.
So Ms. Lam, it was great having you on set, and we are definitely going to be talking to more young people from across region number 7. Here at Tea on the Terrace, we look at development, we feel development, and we try to understand development. Now, over the last 5 years, we have invested more than $150 billion in region number 7. This entire region has a population of about 20,000 residents. Just understand that. We've invested close to maybe $150 billion for 20,000 residents. And where did this money go? It went into natural resources and mining support, tens of billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars in healthcare, billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars in public works and roads, and billions of dollars in housing and human services. That is where the money went. And what does it do? These are not just abstract numbers. They translate into service closer to home, low household costs, and stronger local economies. That is why you're seeing so many businesses mushrooming across Bartica. People have more disposable income. Their propensity to save increase because of all the cost saving measures that we are providing. And what about what is planned for the future? Massive housing development, new hotels from the private sector, new resorts. We have more road development, drainage development, solid waste disposal, expansion of the electricity system, expansion of the water treatment, making Bartica a service hub, a service center for mining, forestry, and riverine communities, making Bartica a transport hub linking river, road, and air. And this is going to be like a regional capital supporting thousands upon thousands of residents and transit workers in the mining, in forestry, and in our hinterland areas. Now, Bartica is also being positioned as a place to live, work, raise families, start businesses, and retire. A town with services, opportunity, and dignity. This shift matters because when a regional capital is stronger, the entire region benefits. And if you look at some of the key investment that is necessary for this transformation, Bartica now hosts a 1.5 megawatt solar farm, saving millions of dollars. 345 solar home systems to support families to have solar homes, the solar home systems that reduce their cost of electricity, and for some of them who live in unserved areas to having access to energy. So renewable investment in Region 7 in the last couple of years alone is almost $1 billion. What does this mean in real terms? Low costs spent on fuel, reduced outages, lower operating expenses for school, businesses, health centers. And then what about water? We've invested about $1.7 billion in water infrastructure. More than 16,000 residents gain access to treated water that you can drink from the tap. When you look at that, the average investment for every single citizen in just water is $105,000 per person. The Bartica water treatment plant alone costs about $635 million, which now secure safer water, treated water for 6,000 residents. What this means is fewer waterborne illness, low healthcare costs, better quality of life. Comfort is not a luxury, it is a foundation for development. And if you look at housing and road asset creation, the development of hundreds of house lots across Region 7, investment of billions of dollars, the steel and cement subsidies, reduced costs of construction for families, the connectivity. In Region 7, roads and rivers are not convenience, they are necessity, they are lifelines. That is why we're investing. We have already planned new investment in the Stelling. We have already invested in the Stelling, new ferry service. We have new air service, a brand new airport with an airstrip, road networks leading into the interior. The rehabilitation of the Bartica, Potaro, and Puruni roads support the movement of over 2 million tons of quarry material annually. This is where development reaches people. Development reaches production. Development enhances productivity. And we'll continue to focus rehabilitation on key hinterland roads, stronger river transport infrastructure, leading to better access for tourism and greater efficiency in our system. This isn't just about moving people and goods, it's about access to markets, faster medical response, children reaching school, and communities staying connected. And when we look at the measurable returns, people no longer have to leave their regions for basic services. We have reduced medical evacuation. For a matter of fact, because of the upgrade of the facilities and telemedicine, we have seen a 50% reduction in medical referrals to Georgetown. That means faster treatment, less disruption to families, millions saved annually in medivacs and travel costs, and you're closer to your families for that supportive care. When you look at the services, the health sector has delivered in 2025 alone. The Bartica Regional Hospital treated more than 15,000 patients, conducted almost 3,000 surgeries. The Cameron District Hospital served 3,300 plus patients. And guess what? Guess what? The Cameron District Hospital was able to do 28,000 lab tests. That was never there before. 28,000 lab tests. The vaccination program, 98% for under one antigens and 100% for 18-month vaccines. These are outcomes that protect communities and reduce long-term public health expenditure and implication. These are direct benefits, translated benefits from the investment we are making from our budgets. And that's just 2025 alone. When you look at our investment in education, which obviously has long-term benefits and return, but the payoff for education is seen in the life cycle of persons. Here we've invested almost $1 billion in Bartica, in education, student residence, upgrading of schools, 37 essential institutions, schools, hospital, police stations were connected to the internet. Can you imagine that? Connected to the internet. These are not just numbers. These are real results. How we are benefiting people. Internet speed increased from 10 megabytes to 200 megabytes. This means better learning outcome, access to online certification and training, more students qualifying for high income jobs, studying from home, studying on the Gold Scholarship Program. And then you look at social protection and local economic circulation. Let's talk about that. Direct cash transfer to the people of Bartica between 2020 and 2025. The people of Region 7, $2.5 billion directly transferred to household. In Bartica alone, almost $1.8 billion paid in old age pensions. Pension beneficiaries increased by 59%. Beneficiaries of the old age pension increased by 59%, from 590 to 938 seniors. Permanent disability support grew from 4 persons in 2020, 4 persons in 2020 to 307 persons in 2025. This is Tea on the Terrace, where the truth matters, where facts matters, where people matters, where the reality matters, where we connect with the real development, where we connect with real progress and understand how our development is impacting and investment is impacting communities. And I already spoke about mining, the job creation, and all of this. So what does Bartica look like in the next 5 years? Reliable power and clean water, better roads and transport links, stronger hospital and schools, faster internet and digital services, more small businesses and local jobs, young people choosing to stay here and have a great career, being entrepreneurs, more gold scholarship, educational opportunity, and Bartica becomes a true regional capital, a place to settle, not just survive, a town where progress is visible and felt. Bartica's transformation isn't accidental, it is deliberate, it is planned, and it is people-centered. Because development is not about statistics alone, it's about whether life feels better, fairer, and more hopeful. Once again, here on Tea on the Terrace, we welcome you in this space of positivity, in this space of development, in this space where facts matters. God bless you and have a great rest of the day. Thank you for joining us in this podcast, Tea on the Terrace, with your president, your friend.